In previous videos, we've already looked at the 4K and the 3K camera. If you want to check out those reviews, you can go back to the main channel. But in today's video, we're going to figure out, is the 4K really worth 30% more than the 3K? Let's start with brass tacks. How much do the cameras cost?
Show me the money!
Now, we're trying to hunt around on the internet and find a eBay advertisement or an Amazon link that I could show, but I just couldn't find a fair comparison. And a lot of the CCTV suppliers will only supply to the trade, so you have to have a trade account to log in, which does actually give you a discount off Hikvision supplies. And I actually think it's the right way that Hikvision should do business. They should do business directly with suppliers who do business directly with installers. But to give you a fair comparison, our prices for the 3K are 66 quid, and for the 4K it's 91 quid. Which means there's about a 25 quid-ish difference between the cameras. Obviously I've not gone down to the pence on this, and that does include VAT. But are you getting 30% more camera for 30% more investment? Let's figure it out. If the question is what comes in the box is different, then we've already touched on this in previous videos. Both come with the same plug screws, quick start guide, drill template, and the boxes are pretty much identical. Admittedly, these boxes are identical because they are 4K boxes, but you'll have to take my word on it, the boxes are identical. Aesthetically, they both look the same. In fact, when I was setting this up, I switched them around and I'm not even sure if that's the right 3K or that's the right 4K, but you get where I'm going with that. So far, there's no differences. They're both Colorvu and they're both POC. Now, if you don't understand what POC is, here's a quick recap. So traditionally with CCTV, you needed the recorder, the power supply unit to power the recorder, you needed the power connectors to power the camera, a video connector to send the video back to the recorder, the power supply unit for the camera itself and a splitter so you can power each camera individually, and then the cameras themselves, as well as a nice chunky bit of shotgun cable to wire it all together. Now with POC you only need this. And that's because with a POC camera unit the cameras are powered directly from the recorder and you only need a single coax cable to send both video and power back to the recorder. So you don't need any power supply units for the cameras and your installs are just much neater. Anyway, let's get back to the original video. The cameras look the same, the boxes are the same, what comes in the boxes are the same. So the 25 quid difference must be in the quality of the picture. But let's find out. So if we pull up the both cameras side by side, I think you can see straight away that the 4K camera definitely has more depth of image. The 3K camera is still a pretty good image and they are both at night time, so they're both in their full colour night modes. And although the footage was filmed at different times of the night at different times in the year, not that far apart, it still gives you a fair example of what the cameras look like and how they perform. The 4K camera just has more clarity in things like the signage for the shop across the road, the Gentry Barbers, and things like the reflection off the car just look better. We must have had the car cleaned at that point and maybe not so much in the other one, but definitely a greater detail of shine in that car, which is just a great added bonus to the 4K cameras. Where the 3K camera is better than the 4K camera is in its frames per second. Now to briefly explain frames per second, it's how smooth an object moves through a video image. So this GoPro is set to 30 frames per second. If we were to reduce that down, you would see my hand just stutter through an image if I moved it quite fast, because the camera just can't keep up with how fast my hand is moving. So the higher the frames per second, the better it is at dealing with objects that move. Now the 4K camera will do 4K at 12.5 frames per second, and the 3K camera will do 3K at 20 frames per second. And we can see that if we play back some footage. If I look at the 4K camera, when a car moves through the junction, you can see that there is a stutter to it. But as soon as an object becomes stationary, the clarity on that image drastically improves. Whereas when we look at the 3K camera, when an object moves through it across the junction, it's not as bad. There's still a little bit of a motion blur to it, but at this price point, and with this, certainly with the analog technology, you aren't going to find much better than that. So there we have it, our side-by-side comparison of the 4K and the 3K Colorvu POC cameras from Hikvision. But which one would I choose? Well,
drum roll please.
I'm a bit of a lover of frames per second. I think the smoother the image, the better, and for that reason, I would go for the 3K camera. I love the quality of the 4K camera, but at 12.5 frames per second, I just want to see objects move a little bit more fluidly. but we have just reached the limit on this technology, unfortunately. And if we wanted more, we'd have to go up to the IP, and there's a bit of a jump in price. So from this price point, I think both are great cameras, but my favourite and the winner of this comparison is the 3K POC Colorvu from Hikvision. I hope that comparison was helpful. If you do like these types of videos, please let me know in the comment section below, and let me know which is your favourite. Did you prefer the 3K or did you prefer the 4K camera? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to release as many videos as I can around running a business. Next, we're going to start looking at IP cameras from Hikvision. So stick around and check them out. Thanks again for watching, guys. Catch you next time.